Good Friday morning, YouTube. Jason, Intricate Concrete, World Headquarters. Plan for today, gonna get this thing shined up and get her put away. And I've started on the big Chevy here, cleaning out the bottom toolboxes, getting everything ready to go on this stuff. So I've got to clean out the top toolboxes. I've got to clean out the back of this thing. Basically, I've got to empty it all out to take off those back two upright arms there and get those welded up. So that's going to be my project for the next couple of days here, is working on this truck. Once I get this truck all put back together, I will give you guys a little walkthrough tour as far as how I have this truck set up and what it's set up for. Just to give you guys a little background on this thing. So I used to have another truck and a little enclosed trailer that was kind of a setup trailer and a truck. I had a guy rear end me actually, I think 2 years ago, pulling into my driveway, rolled the trailer off my truck, totaled my truck. So instead of buying a truck and a trailer during COVID, when things were crazy expensive, I ended up finding this thing. And I kind of thought it would serve two purposes, being a setup truck and an enclosed trailer. Looking back on it, obviously with the Napa hide body, I'm severely disappointed. But as far as the truck itself goes, I mean, it's a nice heavy duty truck with a diesel. It pulls our trailers and stuff well. The turning radius on it sucks. It is four-wheel drive. The thing takes a mile to turn around in a circle, especially when you add a trailer. But overall, it's been decent. If I had it to do all over again, I guess I would have probably bought another enclosed trailer and a pickup. But this thing, I have no finishing tools on this thing. This truck is purely a setup truck and to tow the cats around, things like that. So this is the truck you can get there, you can shoot grade, you can set some forms, but there's no pouring tools on this truck whatsoever. The other thing I don't like about this setup is everything in the back is the stakes, the shovels, the expansion, all that stuff I'll show you guys later, is always exposed to the weather. So I don't want all that stuff being soaked by rain every night. So it has to stay inside. Where an enclosed trailer, I could leave on the job and just go do my thing. Also, as I showed you guys in an earlier video, this bottom toolbox leaks. It has always leaked. As you can see, there's water in it now from me trying to get some of the water out. I finally pulled that drain plug, if you guys can see it back in the corner, which of course the lowest spot is over here, not over there. Another fantastic Napa hide design. So I've got to see if I can figure that out. But that's kind of my plan here for the next couple of days, guys, is the Mini and working on that truck. So I will keep you guys posted. Like I said, once I get that truck all put back together, I will give you guys a tour of how I have it set up, what we carry in it every day, the toolboxes, things like that. Guys, as always, I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. Like, share, subscribe. Let's grow the channel. Not this coming week is all going to be in the shop. The following week, we are going to start a little inside tear out and removal project. I will show you guys that one. We've got to fix another contractor's screw up. So I will keep you guys posted. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's Friday, I don't know, around 2 o'clock. So I'll give you guys a little update here on the big truck. I've got it all emptied out. I've got the toolboxes emptied out. I've got to fill them back in. I got the inside of the truck all cleaned out. Got the seat covers off, got to wash them. So right now I'm going to work on, I've got to take out these 3 bolts here. 3 bolts there, unbolt the crossbar, unbolt this. I've got my 2x6s, as you can see, wedged up there, so I didn't have to unload all those. I've got to take out all the same bolts on this side, and then once I get that off, I can grind this, hopefully on the inside and the outside of both, and see if I can't get those welded. So I'm going to work on trying to get this thing apart right now, guys, and try and make a little progress here on a Friday. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, okay, as you guys saw, I got that down real time, probably 20 minutes or so. Everything is unbolted except the 2 bolts up there, and it should come off. If you guys saw how much of a problem I had getting this one free, even though it's supported by a jack stand up there, there's so much tension on this, on the bolts through it. As you can see, there's slots, they're just carriage bolts. There's a ton of pressure on that thing. I want to show you guys how cheesy this is. So I don't know if you guys can see, there's the crack on the inside. Let me grab this light here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just some basically bird shit weld on there. So it's not even really welded. The bottom of this is not welded. It's cracked right there, and as you can see, once it cracks through to there, there's open light right there. That's the other half of the bracket. So once that cracks all the way through, this thing is no longer hooked to the truck bed. See, it's working. This is the other corner. Well, it's welded there and welded there, but this, it looks heavy duty, but this little piece of 1/8 inch or whatever is really the only thing holding that up. Let me turn this around here so you guys can see it a little bit better. Naturally. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so if you guys can see that crack right there, right here where it's cracked, that's cracked all the way through. You guys are looking at the outside of this piece now. So once it makes it another 3/4 of an inch there and an inch here, this piece right here is all that's holding that thing. And then essentially this is snapped loose right off the back of the truck with whatever weight you have on it. So the weld on there is absolute garbage on the inside, and then as you guys can tell, they grind it flat so it looks pretty on the outside. Well, that's useless if it can't do its job. You can see here where it's wore right down to bare metal. So that's how much tension this thing has on it over here, on just some weak carriage bolts. So this side is cracked even further, as you guys can see. This one is all the way to the corner. So another inch, and this thing is basically broke right off the truck. So I'm gonna get this side off. We'll get these ground, and it really upsets me to have to do this repair myself, because you know those things are powder coated. So now it's either I pay a few $100s to get them powder coated when I'm done, or you know I spray paint them black, and I've got a truck with 20,000 miles on it that's welded together by the owner and starting to rust, or you know looks like a 20-year-old truck when it's you know, 2 years old and it's rusting. Because that's what happens in Michigan. So it just really pisses me off that, you know, Napa Hide won't do the right thing here. I cannot be the only person having problems with this. We don't even have, you know, 300-400 pounds on that rack ever. And it says 1,500 pounds. I would not put 1,500 pounds up there. The liability of this thing going down the road with how crappy these back braces are, I mean, it's a accident waiting to happen, in my opinion. So I'm gonna get these ground, and I don't know if I just weld them or if I add another gusset piece on here or something. I'm not really sure, but what a sad deal for the money you pay. So stay tuned, guys. I'll get this other side off. We'll go from there. Thanks. Hey everybody. So got both of these things off. I already showed you guys that one. This one was the worst of the two. As you can see, that crack where it's all rusty right here is cracking all the way along there, not welded whatsoever on the inside. So as you can see, it's structurally cracked there, and basically there's no weld out here. So once this little piece cracks, that's it. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on this thing getting it apart, which I don't know. I don't think their design is all that great, I guess. But as you can see, let me flip this over one more time here. Okay, so right here, structurally cracked all the way through, not welded on the inside whatsoever. So that little bit more right there, and this thing's broke off. Imagine the damage with all that weight up on the rack when these two things break off. So I'm gonna grind them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by grinding the inside and outside, weld it. Hopefully I can leave the weld on the inside. Then I'll probably grind it flat out on the outside again, and either go this whole way with something or make a bracket here like an L shape. I don't know yet, but I've at least got to get these cracks ground and welded to start with. So that's what we're going to work on now, guys. Hey everybody, it is Sunday. I'm just here at the shop working on some things. So I don't claim to be a professional welder or anything like that, but as you guys saw, what I did is I put this piece on here. I overlapped the weakest point, which is right there. So I welded that. First I welded the back side, the underneath of the bracket where there was absolutely no factory weld. Then I welded the crack in, I ground it flat. Then I welded this piece on here and notched it out so it goes around there. I did that on both of the uprights. As you guys can see, like I said, I'm no professional welder by any means, but they're on there. So let the paint dry on those, and then we'll get this thing put back together. Again, I cannot say enough about how disappointed I am in Napahide and their lack of commitment to their product to make this right. So here I am with a truck with 20,000 miles on it, and not even 3 years old, and I'm having to weld my own stuff and spray paint it because of they just won't stand behind their warranty. They're telling me that the warranty is 3 years from the time it's purchased by the end user. I said, well, I'm the end user. They said, nope, that body shipped in 2020 where it was installed. So even though I'm the only owner of this body, the only owner of this truck, brought it all brand new, if there's a loophole they can find in their warranty to not stand behind their product, they will. So I will never purchase another Napahide product again. And when I get out to World of Concrete, I'll be finding them and letting them know how disgusted I am with their product. I'll probably print off the emails between myself and the rep here, where they're telling me to weld it myself and don't grind the weld flat. That was their answer. So very disappointed. I hope that you guys don't ever experience the same thing with them. If you guys have, or you have better products, or you've had any dealings and you want to comment or share, I'd appreciate it. Thanks everybody. Stay tuned. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. YouTube, I want to show you guys what's going on here. So I did get this all put back together. As you can see, my patches on here, beefed up that side, beefed up this side. Kind of a unbelievable amount of tension on this upright bar here. Like this whole rack is kittywampus in some way. You can see how they drilled out this hole before and how much it's rubbing on there, because I had to take this back to Napahide as well, because the tailgate took 2 guys to close it. You had to wedge the rack apart. You can see they drilled this hole out. A lot of tension on these bolts here, a lot of tension on that bolt up there. Just seems like the whole thing is like, I don't know, got a lot of pressure on it, bound up in some way. But Since Napa Hide won't do anything for me, I did it myself. Hopefully with this stuff being doubled up and welded here, it'll give us a lot more strength. I think that it will, because now it has to crack this piece and my weld on the inside where it was never factory welded, and my weld underneath this plate on both sides. So next thing, I'm gonna get these 2x6s strapped back down, get my jack stands cleaned up, sweep the back of this thing out. I'm gonna get some 2x4s and stuff loaded up there. I got the inside of this truck all clean, got the seat covers washed and put back on. So I'm gonna get everything cleaned up here, get everything strapped back on the rack that needs to go up there. Next step for this truck then will be power washing it. Then we'll bring it inside, wash it good, let her dry and wax it, and this thing will be put into storage for the winter months. So stay tuned, everybody. YouTube, Monday morning, world headquarters, plan for the day. Big Chevy, I'm gonna get this thing outside quick and get it power washed. We're looking at like 27 degrees outside today. So I'm gonna get this thing outside, power wash it. I'm gonna bring it back in and actually wash it, scrub it down good. And then we're gonna let this thing dry. I've gotta make a run to Home Depot and grab a couple of items and some parts. When we get back later today, I'm gonna get this thing hopefully all waxed, and then we will move this thing over into storage over here. I need to move this pallet with the cat here over to there, and then I'm gonna try and get the mesh trailer in here and shake that thing down for the winter. A week from today, we'll be starting that small little job inside, the tear out and replacement for some ADA ramps. So as of now, guys, this is the plan for the day. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, YouTube. I have the big Chevy pretty much all done. I want to give you guys a walkthrough of everything, how this truck is set up, because I've never done that yet. So, as far as the top of the truck goes, I always keep some 2x6 on there, always 2x4s. We got a 12-foot screed up there, and we've got like 4 or 5 pieces of 4-inch bender board. As far as in the back goes, there will be a compactor that's always here. We've got our Milwaukee sweeper. I keep a ladder, 5 cones. In this rigid box is all of our cordless tools, impacts, skill saws, everything like that. We've got a wheelbarrow up there, as you guys can see. If you guys can see the back of the truck here, we always have a swimming pool for washout. Like I said, this truck is not a pour truck, but I always like to carry one. We've got regular diesel and mix cans, 2 shovels, 2 flat shovels, 2 come-alongs, rake, brooms, scrub brush. I like those recycle bins because they take quite a bit of beating. They're pretty flexible. We've got steel stakes, 16-inch stakes, 24-inch stakes, garden hose up over there, a lot of 5-gallon buckets. You guys know you can always use those. In our toolboxes here. So, like I said, this is mostly a setup truck. I've got a laser, tripod, and stick in there. I've got a socket set, 4-inch grinder, skill saw, hammer drill. Up here, we carry some rollers for sealer if we need it, 4-inch and 8-inch or 9-inch. We've got bubblers for downspouts, eave trough adapters. I've got some 90 elbows in there, extra chalk. Here's all of our sprays, our upside down sprays, brake cleaner, Windex, Dawn dish soap, WD-40, starting fluid, all that stuff. Got a square paint gun. This is extra tie downs, all of our string and some foam for our grade stakes, duct tape, caution tape, rags. We've got 2-inch screws, 3-inch screws, 16 double heads, 8 double heads, some little tiny nails, roofing nails, kind of miscellaneous extra pencils, hose nozzles, paint brushes, whatever. In here we've got our bolt cutters, a blow bag, tie wire, big chalk line, 100-foot tape. I keep these little chip brushes cut off. These are what we use for painting release into stamp joints. Got our fire extinguisher, safety glasses, rubber gloves, pouring gloves. We've got all our tools in here, crescent wrenches, pliers, screwdrivers, margin trowels. Got a couple pry bars, my tool belt, my hammer. That's pretty much everything that we carry on that side of the truck. Coming over here, we don't carry much on this side, so I've got some extension cords. What normally goes in here is our extra blades, wood and diamond. They're kind of rusty because this toolbox is holding water. And then I have a gas-powered 14-inch steel cutoff saw that goes in here. So on this side, we carry some garbage bags. They come in handy, even if you need them for a poncho or something, some dust masks. In here's where I carry extra batteries for the laser, a couple sets of ear protection. We got a roll of flashing, some straps, toe straps, kind of a catch-all there too. We've got our plastic we always use on houses. Carry a blower, an axe. I got a scraper there for forms or scraping whatever. We carry a couple sledgehammers in this truck. We carry a 2-foot level, a 4-foot Milwaukee red stick, a 6-foot Milwaukee red stick. This is our Milwaukee power unit that runs the sweeper you guys saw in the back. That thing is super handy. I cannot say enough good things about that sweeper. If you guys have never used one with the rubber flaps on it, it is amazing. Especially for cleaning up sand, like if you got to dump it in a driveway or the road or something. I carry some vinyl patcher in here if we need it, and just an extra concrete vibrator. We always use the Milwaukee cordless one, but that one's just a cheap Harbor Freight thing. If we got a little footing to do or something like that that needs to be vibrated. But the only thing this thing is missing is our cutoff saw that goes in here. Other than that, and the compactor, of course, in the back. That is pretty much how this truck is always set up. So we've got a little bit of everything on here, but it works well for setting up. You got an adjustable bulletproof hitch on here. This one's good to 22,000 pounds with a 2 5/16 ball on it. So we use this, we pull the skiddy with it, with the dump trailer. And like I said, it's a good setup truck. The setup I have here would not be great for pouring, obviously, because we don't have any finishing tools and I don't want everything getting wet out in the weather. But it's good to have a mix of everything in here. Trying to be pretty prepared. So my plan now is, guys, this thing is all washed, waxed, cleaned. I'm gonna move this truck over to the other side of the shop. I'm gonna take the cat out. I'm gonna grab the compactor out of the other trailer. I'm gonna do the service on that compactor and get that up here where it goes. I'm waiting on some air filters and stuff to come for the 14-inch saw before I can put it in there. And then this compactor that I bought will go in the big trailer because we use that compactor every day that's in that trailer. And this one has the wheel kit on it to make it a little easier to move around. The other one that I'm gonna put in that truck does not have wheels on it. So just trying to make it a little easier. The one in this truck gets used a lot less, so hopefully the wheel kit makes it easier on the guys to move around next year. So I'm gonna shuffle some vehicles around here, shuffle some equipment around here, and just keep plugging away. As you can see, I've got this stuff here all kind of packed in the shop for now. I'm gonna move that pallet of spray deck over to this area here. I'm gonna move that hammer over closer to our bunk of 2x4s. And we'll just keep shifting things around and packing things in. Stay tuned, guys. I appreciate it. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. So, you guys saw I got that truck all moved over yesterday. Still got to throw the packer and the saw in it. Waiting on some parts for those. I did get the tilt deck in here. Got all the lights working on this thing. Got it all washed yesterday, greased all the wheel bearings, greased everything underneath. The one thing I did notice was that the deck had pinched a wire over there and broke it. It went to the brakes on the front axle on that side, so I got that all fixed. I let this thing dry overnight, so I'm gonna mix up a little Boy Scout oil and hit the deck here. This thing will be good to go then. It's gonna go outside for the winter. And probably the next thing I'm gonna bring in here will be the mesh trailer. So I gotta go through that thing after I get this one done. And hopefully my parts show up today. I've got some air filters coming for the cutoff saw. I gotta grab a plug for it. Gotta grab a plug for this packer. And then the big truck will be done. I can push that thing over a little further. So right now I'm gonna mix up some Boy Scout oil for the deck here and get this thing looking good. And then we will move on to the next project. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, YouTube, as you saw, I got that trailer deck oiled up pretty quick. This is how it looks. Obviously, this stuff is gonna soak in a little bit and dry out, but it makes the wood water repellent. Gives it a nice finish. It's free, so gives it a decent color. I don't care too much about looks. I just care that it's protected. So you guys can see where the excavator runs on it, but you get the gist. Keeps things lasting a little longer. I think it turned out nice. Took me about 10 minutes. So we'll let this stuff soak in for a little while, and then we will get this thing moved outside, get another trailer in here and start on that. I'm kind of saving this thing because we need it for an upcoming job. So I'm not going to do anything with the Diamond C or the Big Cat yet. Same thing with the pouring trailer. Kind of working my way through all the stuff that I think we're done with for the season. Supposed to get 2 to 3 inches of snow starting late tonight or tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, I've had some other contractors and people in the past rag on me for, you know, working on my stuff, or your stuff's too pretty or whatever. Well, I believe that if you take care of your stuff, it'll take care of you. And I think that it makes the job go a lot easier when all your stuff is working, when you have everything nice. It doesn't take any longer to keep the stuff nice as it does to beat the hell out of it. And I also think that when the guys come back to work in the spring and you give them a nice, clean truck with clean tools and everything works, it shows the guys that you take care of your stuff, and I think it makes them want to take care of it. And I won't accept anything less as far as my stuff being taken care of. I put a lot of time and money and effort into maintaining all my equipment and making sure that the guys have nice stuff to work with. And for the most part, you know, I think the guys appreciate that. So that's why I do what I do. I think it makes stuff last a lot longer when you take care of it. Makes the job go a lot smoother when you need it and it's there and it works. So it's what I choose to do. So yeah, guys, I'll keep you posted. I'm gonna get this thing out of here. I'm gonna grab the plug and stuff for this. Hopefully my air filters come for that saw and I can get that thing put back together, and then we'll move on to the next project. Stay tuned, everybody. What's up, YouTube? Still haven't made a parts run yet. Got the mesh trailer in here. So I popped the wheels off both sides. Noticed quite a bit of play in things. So this is one of the shackles. You guys can see how wobbed out that hole is. This side's not much better, but you can see the difference in those. So this has got to be replaced, basically all 4 on both sides. This holds the springs in the center here. This pivots. You can see, I don't know if you guys can tell how womped out these holes are, but the top one is really bad. This thing has a ton of play in it. Not only was it moving like this, it was also moving like this. So once I make a parts run here, I'm gonna pick up all new shackles and a new centerpiece for that, hopefully, if they have one, or see what I can do with that one as far as getting it fixed, because this is our mesh trailer. So we usually carry a bunk of mesh on here, which is 100 sheets at a time. I think it's around like 2,200 pounds is on this thing constantly. So we're gonna replace all that hardware on both sides. I don't know why, but someone tack welded the bolts on this side, which is absolutely stupid. I bought this trailer used. I don't know why anyone would do that, but they did. So I'm gonna have to deal with that. Probably cut those out of there with a torch, maybe. So this is today's project. Hopefully we can get some parts here. I've got to stick around because I'm waiting for some deliveries of parts. So just gonna get done what I can get done and keep plugging away, but we'll get this thing done and get her washed and cleaned up and greased, and this will be one more thing off the list. Thanks, everybody.